Yes, hello, friends of Komodo platform, friends of Pirate Chain, friends of Bitcoin and crypto price charts. I'm Adriano. It's the Friday, 8th of October, 2021. We are in the final quarter of the year. Things are definitely ramping up. So I'm gonna share the screen here. We're gonna take a look at some price charts. I hope you're doing well. And, taking care of all that needs to get taken care of, including yourself. All right, how are we starting this? We'll start with the BTC hovering the 54,000 USD level. On a daily price chart, okay, what did we see? RSI didn't quite make it oversold yet. No, sorry, overbought by our metrics. Still within that 70. And then, the MACD definitely pumped up, but it hasn't made anything long standing yet. Oftentimes we get the pump up and then it starts to decline. The relative momentum strength declines and we get some form of correction, and then we can continue on with a higher move, let's say. That's what it looks like. And interestingly, this band that's been here the whole time, here we go. We beat our previous high of around 52.8 of 5th and 6th September here, making it all the way to the 55K level. And now it looks like we're topping on this singular move here, the singular wave up, and that's fine. We have topped right at roughly the resistance of the upper band of this rectangular zone. Let's extend our friend, Mr. Rectangle, and see what it holds. Like, okay, so here's the deal. First support, because we're looking, okay, this thing looks like it's over. We'll take it down to the 4-hour to look for some supports. Definitely this band here, lower end, is going to be a first support level if needed. This is a 4-hour price chart. So the next level, we're going to take Fibonacci retracements, and we're going to take a retracement from here and say, where would a move down take us? The next level, just looking at this, is about 50,000. It's psychological and it is price, and it's a 382 Fibonacci level. And after that, we have the 48,000, which is a 0.5. And you'll see the significance of these when we look back, and because we have the levels here, the shelf level. A 618 relates to this 200 period average. And I don't think we're going to get that far down. I think that with the 38.2 matching with the Ichimoku cloud and also the lower end of this rectangular band and the 50,000 psychological. Now we could trade into the Ichimoku and even close in there, but I don't think we'll go lower than a 50% retracement here. Especially, let's see, what did we do the last time when we moved up? Either we'll do something similar or different, right? So last time it was a 38.2 on that first move up. So let's see if that same pattern holds, or maybe it'll be different. Okay, so that's the idea there. The 50 came from price levels back here. All right, that's when I was looking at this before, the fib levels. You see this price level here, this price level here, they're on the same level, and then it chops around here too. So this is obviously significant, and their bands sometimes are, they're more narrow. We could consider it based on the price. Anyway, like if I were to put a line here, we would just go right up at the top end of this and this, and I'm sure it would confluence with some other significances. There you go, some support chopping here. Anyway, so that's where that is. That'll be around the 48,555 level. Let's leave that there. And that would be, again, a band that reaches probably down to the bottom here of this type of support level here. You see that? So if we wanted to rectangularize it, now we'll just two lines here roughly there. So that is the little support band, the next rectangular zone that we are looking at. So we're going to color that on the red skis. Okay, there you are. That's the next zone. Having fun with the Bitcoin price chart. I hope you're doing well. And there we are. Wow, we are moving above the clouds of the previous resistance and into some fresh mountain air. All right, here we go. Not quite the blue skies. We are definitely in, in a mode of correction. We had hit into the overbought region, and now we're coming down on this 4-hour time frame. Daily looks like it could continue going. This might be an intermediate little pullback, and then up by the end of next week, or it could just last a bit, or we'll figure out the pattern as it plays out, right? We'll see, but bullish is the sentiment overall. So there you go, that's the BTC. So at these levels, KMD doing quite nice, and we're holding the $6 level at just under 2,000 Satoshis, but hey, we're not in the 1800s. Okay, some things of significance to look at. On the daily, we had carved out this band, this rectangular band, and we got a really nice wick support, intraday trading support right at the lower end of it. And that's just, it's not like, yeah, it's just interesting. Price will come and play at levels it's played at before, whether it's closing or intraday or intra-period, whatever you want to call it. And then we returned with some good green. I mean, we even tried to test that 2,000 Satoshis level 2,100, that's KMD for you. Again, with another candle similar to the 3rd of October, we have this 7th of October candle, but just coming from a lower level. And yeah, interesting. We got that support there. It was also a retest of this downtrending channel. Here, let's just get in here. Let's really get in here. A retest of this downtrending channel we had carved out in terms of price closing. Okay, and so we did a retest, nice retest closing price of this channel, and boom, back above the band with a pausing, doesn't know when it wants to go up or down candle here, with a narrow body, and that's fine. There's a daily price chart, and that's a pausing candle. We're looking to go higher. That's the bias. The bias is higher, but of course lower can happen. I mean, you had 3 in a row red, a couple greens, more in a row red. That could be the case. That's what we've been having, but it doesn't look like, because of the significance of this low here and where we are here. Of course, we could go lower, but we did a retest and we held this channel. I don't know. I feel like we're either sideways or up. So that's kind of the bias on the KMD. And if we want to just flip into a 4-hour just to get a little more local sentiment, yeah, let's see. Yeah, we made a higher low here. It's looking okay. We had this corrective down, and now we can sideways it a bit. We're above this type of support resistance area, above the 20 period average, and it's going to narrow. And we would like to get above all of this towards the. We would like to get above all of this towards the downtrending line. That would be the ideal. However, if it needs to hit into the cloud and be resisted at this 2,100 Satoshis level, I mean, if Bitcoin's going higher, that would be likely the case. But if not, if Bitcoin's kind of flattening around 50 to 55 or even like 50 to 60K at some point here, KMD could be ready to creep up and make its way to, maybe $1.50 or whatever. And we can see that on the dollar chart of KMD USDT when we look at it. I'm sure I haven't looked at it closely, but I bet we can see it. We have some good looking RSI just generally. I feel like it wants to take this type of, oops, no, not that. It wants to take this type of trajectory, even if it has to go sideways first, oops. But I get the sense that we've got some momentum. I don't think it wants to break down, but anyway, that's the overall sense. Even through the MACD, this is 4-hour again, so we could get into green and go for a run. On the daily, I was going to point out that we haven't even really reached into the green momentum yet. So I think we've got some room to go here for KMD in terms of positive momentum. That's my sentiment on the KMD. I think we are going to test these levels here. We're going to go test the cloud. That's confluencing with this first downtrending slope. There you go. And whoops. Now the top range of the cloud is even lower than the 2,800 Satoshi level. So I do see that level. Remember this, okay? At some point, 2,800 will be a support. I get that sense. I don't know what you think, but you know, you can use the comments below. I get the sense we're going to have a 2,800 support at some point, and we'll be above the cloud. Okay, that's a daily price level. Amazing. All right, cool. Yeah, we've definitely got some room to go all the way around. Haven't been in an oversold position. Sorry, oversold in June, but overbought in you know, the April timeframe. So we did try and you know, establish some sort of return in here, but that was, yeah, and a relative move, you know, when we think about it here, that's 75% move, 70% move, 60% move. That's decent. It's decent overall when you're in and out of that kind of a move. So you can't complain when your RSI goes from oversold to nearly overbought, but not quite. So anyway, we have room to go. Yes, that's the overall sentiment. That's the KMD look. Yeah, here's our bigger rectangular band, and let's go play in there. All right, next, I'm just gonna take a look at the USDT price just to look at some of this idea. Because it's overall looking strongly. The USDT chart always gets these clusters of green, which is, it gives it the more upslanted, the upslanted version. So we've broken down this trend line. We can leave it there. We can see how it became, you know, a significant regression line where we were resisted at it. So you can always use these kinds of lines. If ever your price dumps down, just watch for it to come back. You can get out near or around there. That's also part of the idea, is you don't always have to catch the exact spots, and then you can get in or get out at decent levels. I mean, we're all learning together, and none of this financial advice, but here we go. We're playing above this $3 line that has been drawn for a while around this price support level. Here we go. Yeah, interesting. And then look at this cloud. We've got the cloud Kumo twist, the Ichimoku Kumo twist right here, one here, and then another one here. You see it? We twist, we twist, we twist, we twist, but overall, it's just a giant twisting of the cloud. Ho, can we break through? Either way, the cloud will soon support at just above $1, $1.10, let's say. And I think that's something in the sights for KMD. We've made our correction on the USDT timeframe, I believe. I believe this is some sort of 0 to 2 trend line, and we have our move here. What did it do? Just want to check one idea here. Yeah, no. So, okay, so just the basic idea, right? We're working from wherever we're working. So let's say we're pulling this line, we're going to get rid of you. Okay, now notice this downtrender. When did I draw this one? Anyway, I don't know, but don't think it was recent, was it? Maybe it was. Doesn't matter, it doesn't. So here we are. It is obviously of significance, and we reached the top of the Bollinger Band. We're starting to horizontalize with the Bollinger Bands. So the next bias is up. Okay, so what did I want to check? I wanted to check the move down was about 78.6 and body to body. Yeah, so we're between 618, 78.6. So and it looks pretty clear overall. Doesn't mean we can't come down again first, but we'll see. Could definitely continue momentum, like make it a longer momentum in the positive range. Same thing. I mean, who's to say we can't go near over like I imagine maybe on the USDT time or price chart, it would be something more like this. So like, I'm not trying to think that we have to go overbought. We could be failing around 65, you know, and then cut back down. But that's fine. That could maintain this momentum going higher, and then make your next correction. And overall, it would be this chunk here would be some sort of correction, wherever that would lead, and I think, you know, it would probably be within this range. But anyway, that's besides the point. I don't think we're going down to the 83 cents. So we're looking for something like this at this point. Yeah, something like that probably. Okay, let's see if we can play within that box. That's the KMD USDT issue. This is a daily time frame. And on the 4 hour, yeah, could get into a bit of, I don't know why it's always so small when we get into it. It could get positive again. We're kind of red, so it's kind of sideways here. We had to move up. Let's see, let's just give it a bit of a context. About here. Let's go to $1.25, and that confluences with this level here, right here. And it is what we, you know, previously drawn. You know, 143 could be a wick or something like that, or somewhere around there between $1.22, $1.43 within this zone. That seems like a reasonable shot to aim for. But on the 4 hour, we're already over this Ichimoku cloud, so that's good. That's pretty good. Anyway, all right, that's the KMD USDT. There's so much to look at, so much to do. I'm going to move into the BTC. So after a big reversal here and here, we now reverse back to the downside. And interestingly, with a line chart, it looks like this. So cool. We have retraced already this move by about 78.6 or 81%. So if we imagine that it will maybe look like this, up, down, up. Okay, so that's what we're looking for. It might take longer, but we're basically looking for this to happen. Now, this level here, I'm gonna define it horizontally. There we go, roughly there. It's really a bit of a band, but anyway, enough of those for now. Just keep it as a line, represent it as a line. So this one we will thinkify it. Okay, so these are the horizontal lines just to watch to see if we, are playing out the Wyckoff schematic. And so far, if this is part of the spring and we're just short-term back testing that spring, but we're kind of making it up, go up, and then we'll come back down again for the bigger term back test of this localized spring. Does that make sense? So like it'll do a spring and a back test of spring on a shorter time frame, and then this collectively, this will be part of the bigger spring, and then like from the bottom, the moves up, and then the back test on a bigger time frame or on a bigger scale degree. Does that make sense? Because yeah, so there it is on a 4 hour. Looks like looks like we could be ending this. Well, looks like we might dump. Now here's the thing. This is really our line in the sand here. We don't want to test with lower down. I mean, come on. That's why so weak. Why so weak? That makes for cause of concern. Cause for concern, I should say. Let's pull these back in. 200 Ichimoku. Yeah, we rejected at that Ichimoku quite hard. And the Bollinger. Okay. See this Ichimoku on the 4 hour level, we just totally rejected there. Interesting. I get the sense we're going to hold. I mean, just when I go down to the, let's go down to the 1 hour just to get a bit more of a look. And we see, all right, you get roughly 1-to-1 right now. I mean, and it's basing here. Is it going to continue this kind of redistribution and further dump down? Don't get that sense. I feel like we went down that Bollinger Band, it widened, and now we can base in here and then come back up, test, support, and then move to the next level, but I get the sense, fine, this might take a bit of time here. Might be into the 10th of October, even the 12th, before we really start moving up again. But I get the sense we'll have some up and some down. Today is the 8th. We're moving closer and closer to the 9th. We're at the 2300 UTC, so we're nearly the 9th. And there you have it. This is quite a small localized time frame, but it gives us a bigger picture of what's happening, what's going on. And yeah, it's definitely on the bearish part. But whoops, see, I guess based on the time frame, it's widened or narrowed. Here we have to narrow it again, and we see here the potential for some sort of divergence to build, or at least to exhaust the oversold position. Okay, this was oversold October 5 to 6, so this is about a day, 24 to 48 hours here. Not about 24, like October 5 around 8, 9 UTC AM to the 6th around 12, 13, 1400. So 36 hours, let's call it. So here we are, 8th to 9th, so about the 10th. So yeah, you know, 10th to 12th, we could see this out. I see 10 or 11 is more reasonable of a start to kind of push back up and figure it out. There you go. That's the idea for Pyrochain RBTC on the shorter term time frame, and looks like we're potentially exhausting this red move. Let's get a bit of green at least before the next red negative momentum. That's about it. I think we're still in a good position. I don't think we're going to reach down to these 4,200 level here and beat that. So until that happens, we are still within the same thesis of accumulation, Wyckoff style. Oh, and I wanted to mention, because I didn't really make it clear in the previous video, you want to watch previous video, that Wyckoff and time analysis and stuff. If this has the A, this is the B. We had just started the C with the spring here. So we got the A here, the B here, the C here, the D here, and then the E here. This whole move, this sideways move, would be actually, when we looked with the time analysis, it would have been double the markdown move here from about the 23rd April to about the 10th of July, I think was the dates we were using. But yeah, this markdown was a certain time frame, and then this would be actually double by the time you get to the E. So at the end of the D phase would be like a double, and which means that this markup phase from about the 3rd April would be a 1/8 of this whole accumulation phase, and it would have been 1/2. This was 1/2 of the markdown phase. If I remember. Oh, no, 1/4. That's why I'm like, no, it wasn't 1/2. Look, you can't even, it doesn't even look like 1/2. It was 1/4 of this markdown phase. Okay, 1/4 of the markdown, and the accumulation would be double the markdown. Or in other words, the accumulation would be a time frame. The markdown previously would have been half that time frame, and the markup before that would have been 1/8 this time frame. Okay. Now, so what are we saying? That's about it for now. All good in the hood. Here we go. Yeah. We're going to take the RUSDT. Wow, this is more so for some longer term macro wave price analysis. Oh, wow, I'm just noticing on the weekly, we are starting to narrow. Okay, we're starting to narrow and horizontalize. I'm guessing this Bollinger Band is going to start moving kind of like that. This one, I don't know, I imagine something like that happening, or maybe it's going to be the opposite. Maybe maybe this top one is actually going to come down, and the bottom one is going to stay where it is. Maybe the top one's coming down like that, and this one's going to slowly move up. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't think so. This is a long time frame. Anyway, okay, now I'm just rambling because I got excited to see the Bollinger Band, starting to give a bit of a shape. You see. This is not a lot of information, but it's starting to come together. Okay. So that's the weekly time frame. Overall, it's looking good. I think on the daily we go, and interestingly, the sideways channel or sideways, yeah, area, horizontal, I should say, rectangle. Come on now, horizontal rectangle that was drawn, we got a nice rejection within it, and basically the closing was rejected by the lower end of it, and then we dumped down further back below. So it was, this whole Ichimoku cloud was contending with the price. But here you go, finally, around $3 is where the Ichimoku cloud top is. And I guess we're going to be Kumo twisting soon enough. So here's a couple possible trajectories. One is the cloud is going to diminish us, and that's fine until, you know, there is room for the twist and the move into the $3 level again, into this horizontal rectangle. Thank you very much again. Yep, that's one idea. The other idea is just to go right into it, and you know, whatever we do here, but we go right into it and figure it out from there. That's one idea. Either way, it looks like this is a longer term. Just trying to find as a 2 to 4 trend line. If, like, this is all hypothesis, if we have a 0 to 2, like a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're making a 5, we're going to try and predict, you know, what kind of price would a 5 make, what would it look like, what kind of idea might we be seeing. But so in which case is if the price keeps coming down and maybe it ranges till, you know, October, end of October, mid-November here, then this line, when all it would have to do is just find the actual ending of the 4, and then, and that's part of it, like just a Neely method idea here. Neo wave is, that's how that's one of the ways of showing that the end of the corrective wave in an impulse, the 2 or the 4, you find it because then it's the one that actually you're able to channel without breaking it. So if we were to keep, let's say here, because it's a lower price, we were to keep that as the end, then we'd be breaking this 2 to 4 trend line. That doesn't work. Neely method style here, we would find that trend line where, okay, it channels without breaking it, and that becomes the end of the move, the 4th wave in this case. So end of 3 is up here, right? Wave 3, wave 4, if we're counting it like that. And in that case, wave 4 ends at a higher price than the lowest price within wave 4. So this whole thing being wave 4 can have a lower price within it than where it ends. That's basically the story that I'm trying to tell you about Neely method ideas. Okay, and Neo wave, Elliott wave style thinking. Okay, then we get in here and we say shorter term, what's the deal? What's the deal? Yeah, we could be going that way. And in that case, sure, if we are kind of making our way this way, that's what we do. Maybe we don't get there right away. Maybe we get there within, by the end of the month, we can start moving, whatever. But we're going to hover around this area, or we're going to go challenge. It's either that or that. I don't think we're going to start breaking below this $2.13 level. In fact, if we start going below the $2.30 level, then we're really asking for trouble. In fact, if we go even below the 240, like below this, and in a serious closing kind of way, that means I don't know if $2 is going to hold, but that's going to suck to have to test it a 3rd time. You don't want to have to test it a 3rd time. Yeah, so that's the idea. So I'm going to put a horizontal line right here. Let's keep it there. Okay, let's stay above that. Okay, and I think we will. I think the move is biases up. I mean, we could break this trend line and just kind of make it over here. That's fine, but I biases up. That's the RUSDT, looking good overall. If you want to go 4 hours time frame, yeah, I mean, it was in the overbought territory. It could definitely clear out to an oversold position eventually, but Let's see if this Ichimoku cloud holds support longer term, or does it just bounce, off of this cloud like it did here? It bounced, and then are we going that way? Which, hey, it might. And then this level could be our support, or it breaks even further. And that's where you never know what's going to happen. That's why I know there's advice, but you never know what's going to happen. But you play the probabilities, and you also just play it along as it goes, and you do your management and all these other things that keep you healthy, portfolio wise, let's call it, trade wise, position wise. All right. So yeah, we've got some negative momentum that stands to be cleared out here, and it looks like maybe we're going to get into relatively negative momentum, but we could still go higher, or not even higher, but more prolonged in the price move. Dangerously here, we have higher, lower, and lower, which means let's figure it out here. We could be opposite of dangerous. It could be actually signaling. Could be signaling nothing really. I don't really think we're signaling anything with this, because the price is not. There was some divergence here, but then I think we're clearing out that divergence now. So whatever. See this divergence? It played out. We had the lower price, higher price. It came down. Anyway, whatever, no big deal. Looking good on the pirate chain price chart. Rambles are over for you pirates. That's the story on the daily and the 4-hourly for the pirate chain USDT. And that's it for now from me. We're still below the 5,000 Satoshis. We're at 47.94, 47.99. So basically 4,800 Satoshis on the pirate chain price chart. And we're just below the 2,000 Satoshis on the KMD price chart. But feeling bullish, okay? But watch your step. And I think that's it. Until next time. Goodbye.